All right, so now we're on wrist number 10, which is going to be a rolling elbow lock that we're going to take all the way to the ground. So we're starting off in the same position. Once again, drop level, and make sure you use your center line. Now, as we use this center line, we are going to use this arc hand to make sure that we get a grip. My fingers are facing out, my thumb is facing up, but I'm going to rotate my hand up. As I do that, this other hand is already meeting on the other side. I'm sticking my thumb into the meaty part of the thumb and the finger right here where the junction is at, or the webbing, and I'm taking my ring finger and my middle finger and grabbing around the meaty side of the bottom of the pinky side of the hand here, and I'm rotating. One. So you can see that you have this rotation here. This is a loose rotation, so when we're doing it faster, it's tight to the body. Make sure it's on the sternum right here. You can see his index finger, his knuckle, and his thumb are going to form one plane on this position, and when I lean forward, it puts pressure on him, but I'm going to roll my elbow over the arm, and when I'm doing this, I'm stepping through one, and I'm pulling his arm across my body. My hip is going to be to his back and his ribs, and his ribs are going to come to my hips. From this position, I'm going to kick my left leg out, or the leg that is matching the arm. So it's just like doing a side fall. One, and I make sure that when I do this in practice, I'm putting all of my pressure on his shoulder, so that way I don't hyperextend his elbow. From here, I drop my elbow to the ground and I form a strong fulcrum. I'm making sure that I'm keeping that grip, and I'm going to adjust my feet. One, two. So it's going towards his head, and what that's doing is allowing this fulcrum to get tighter, and I'm going to take his finger, his index finger and his pinky, and I'm going to rotate them towards his head, and I'm going to make sure that I put a little bit of torque on his wrist, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on that elbow all at once. One. So on the other side, you can see how we're fitting in. So I'm dropping level. One, I come across my body. Two, I roll it back in, and you can see how I have this arc hand and this arc hand. One is on the meaty side right here, grabbing the webbing and the meaty side of the pinky. The other one is at the junction of the wrist, and I'm making sure I have positive and negative. I keep it against my sternum right here, starting to drop him and roll him. This keeps pressure from the very beginning. Once we get here, I'll step across and I pull through. Make sure you keep your base low, and I want to make sure that this elbow is tight. From here, I'm going to drop this matching side. I'm going to kick this leg out like a side fall, but you have to make sure your pressure is on the shoulder. One. Now the person that's falling, you can see that how he collapses is in a way that's not going to hurt him. He's not going to try and stop himself from this, because it will hyperextend that elbow. I'm going to drop this elbow, making sure that it's dug into the ground. My feet are going to move across. This is going to make that fulcrum get tighter. From here, I'm going to rotate that pinky towards his head, and we keep pressure. Now try not to lift your elbow too high, but you do want to rotate. So on number 10, at speed, be very careful on the end, but it should look like this right here. And that is wrist number 10. Thank you very much.